Okay.
Man.
How do we start this?
I don't know.
This is
This is the first. This
my
is the first.
My heart is pounding. Actually. I don't know why this is giving me anxiety. It's like we have been talking for weeks now about doing this, if not over the past 2 months.
Yeah, a couple months probably.
And we've been talking in voice. We'll be in voice for hours, and I'll be fine. The fact that I have to press the record button and know my voice is being recorded
makes it so much worse.
And nothing has changed.
I hate it. I hate it.
Nothing has changed. So I guess the first thing to say is, welcome to the first episode of.
Hey.
What?
That's what. Welcome. Hey. It's the ad libs.
Oh, you were hyping me up. I gotcha. The first episode of 2 Degrees of Separation.
We need a button.
We need a button. So, who are we? My name is Eli.
I am Jake.
And we're brothers.
Nah.
Pretty straightforward. I don't know if that has been. I mean,
I want a DNA test.
Yeah,
I don't look like any of y'all.
None of us. Yeah, through social media hasn't really been. I mean, no, I did say it. I put it up on that. I said my brother and I are starting a podcast. So,
yeah, I'm bad with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I posted anything.
I have not, but life goes on. So, yeah, who are we? Brothers starting a podcast. Very awkwardly.
Oh no doubt.
I don't think this could be any worse of a beginning. So that is who we are. What is this?
That's what it is. That's what this is.
Yeah. I mean, completely. We went into for the most part blind. So, what is the podcast about? Do you have any sort of input in regards to that?
All of it. It's about all of it, man.
He says all of it. Basically, it's going to be everything. A lot
Top
of life
5
stuff.
Skyrim mods of the week.
Yes.
That's what it is.
No, it's just purely that every week, all we're going to talk about is the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. That's it.
That's all I think about.
That's all I think about. So it's going to be, the idea behind it was going to be, it was like everything to do relating with the entertainment industry as a whole. So we're both really into music. Mm-hmm. We're both nerds. Mm-hmm. Everybody, watches movies and TV, and we've been talking about that over the past couple of weeks. And so it's like a culmination of those things with stories about dumb stuff that has happened in our lives.
Yeah. I would say that's about right.
I feel like that's a pretty good, quick, very brief way to break down what this is and what we intend it to be.
Absolutely.
I was actually, when I first announced I put the announcement on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I was very hesitant to actually have anything to do with my personal Twitter being correlated to the podcast.
Same.
I was very hesitant in that. And it's because I have been away from the internet for what 2013, so man, 5 years, 6 years.
Man,
That was probably the last time I streamed. So to those of y'all that didn't know, I used to stream on Twitch. Shout out me.
shout out. I was in one or two of them.
You were. I mean, there's.
I had a
I know. I don't think there's any clips with you in it.
I'm pretty sure there's something. I've seen one. I went way back one time.
Yeah,
and
it was
there's
probably
a
back
stream.
when I was playing Minecraft.
It was Skyblock. I remember, man. I remember.
Yeah, I had every intention of actually going back to streaming for a long time. I really wanted. I enjoyed streaming. It was a lot of fun. But you know, being an adult, you don't have time.
I want to stream.
You want to stream?
Yeah, I want to figure it out. I want to get my camera set up.
Oh, you're being serious?
Yeah, I think it would be fun.
You've never streamed, have you?
Funny enough. I could do it.
You think you're funny enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that or feet pics.
Oh, well, you know.
I got unique feet.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Got a bone on the side.
Feet. I actually didn't know you ever wanted to stream. Didn't know that.
That would be fun.
It was fun. Well, and I'm sort of kind of surprised that you haven't done it before to a degree. Because it is as simple as you make your account on whichever platform. You use like a Streamlabs or OBS. I don't even know what people are using today. I was using OBS. And it's all you have to do in the very beginning, set up the webcam, set up the game.
Well, yeah,
that is it.
I got to figure out how to set up that Canon with my computer, and then I'll be fine. But it's a matter of getting that all sorted, and I have no ambition or drive to do anything.
He said, I want to stream.
Well, that's what every streamer's like. They all say the same thing. Every single one of them does the same thing. Nobody wants to do it.
Fair point. No.
Every top streamer says, I wouldn't do this.
Well, I think it's because realistically, I think that's kind of where I ended up getting burnt out with it is when I first started streaming, it was, I had no set schedule because I was just like, you know, I'm playing a video game and I'm live on the internet. Like, if you want to come hang out, cool. And then things kind of like ramped up from there. And it was more so, it was like the friends that I made through Twitch is kind of what like pushed me into the idea of you should have a schedule. And then at that point in time, when I started streaming, I was young.
Yeah, I was a long time ago now.
I can't remember if I was in high school or I was out of high school at that point in time.
I think you had just gotten out of high school when you started doing it.
I think so. So I was 18, roughly. Let's just say I was 18. Yeah. Graduated when I was 17. So let's just say I was 18. It's been 10 years. So I don't know. That was at that point in time. It didn't matter. And I was young and I was going to college and I didn't have a job. So life wasn't in the way of doing it.
Heck yeah.
Of streaming. So I could stream for hours and it didn't matter. And then, you know, as you get older, you conform.
You become dull and lifeless.
Dull and lifeless. You become a cog in the machine.
And that's why we're starting this podcast. So you can feel just like us.
Yeah, so you can feel like a robot. It's great. That's terrible. No, but had every intention to go back to streaming, and I still do. Like to this day, I think it'd be fun. I still, when talking about video games, like I am super. Both of us are super. I think the word's goofy, but I'm gonna say we're both super passionate about video games. I
goofy.
think that word's.
And
I think
passionate.
that word's goofy. Yes, both of them. No. But I get super. There's stuff about video games that I find super interesting, and it's like the. That's I like being able to have a conversation with somebody about stuff going on with a game that I'm playing. It's a lot of fun. Like we have done that. We've both played games and we've talked about it
all our lives. Like, all our lives. Like still go back. I still play PS2 games. Heck
I
yeah.
still want to set up the 64. Play all them, that would be sick. But video games have definitely been a very prominent thing in both of our lives between us, I would say.
Yeah,
music,
definitely.
Music,
not so much in reality.
Well, no, growing up, music wasn't. We had a very, when it came to music, our parents had a very, very broad genre, a very broad scope
catalog
of music.
Big catalog.
Yeah, catalog. So it was, I remember them obviously listening to like the grunge era of music. So a lot of Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, stuff like that. But then there was like the flip.
Crap.
What?
That's a bunch of garbage. You got the good stuff, and I got straight up instrumentals for the first like 8 years of my life.
Yeah, see, that's way different from me because there was that, but then they were also, you missed the whole era of mom and dad. They were like for the first I don't know. I don't want to say it wasn't 10 years. It was probably the first like 5 to 7 years of my life. They were hippies. Full blown, like you've seen the pictures of mom and dad when I was a baby.
Yeah.
And so they were listening to the Grateful Dead, Blind Melon, the Allman Brothers, that kind of, they were listening, Bob Marley.
Yeah, I got that. I remember listening to Bob Marley when I was really, really little.
Dad was super into John Mayer, and I think that's why I am super into John Mayer.
Yeah, same.
Super big fan. So we both have similarities from our childhood, and there's differences. So I think that's gives us a good opposite, if that makes any sense.
In a way,
you have your own take. I have my own take.
I also think there was a point where I kind of branched out of what you were listening to because of when mom and dad split. We spent a lot of time
100%.
apart, and from that point, because up until then it was like always the same thing. And then we were at the cousin's house.
What a save,
dude! Yeah. Hey, episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Yeah. Mistakes will be made. So
80s music for a lot of it.
110. I was gonna say that. So with them, I think that they definitely brought on that because mom and dad didn't listen to that at all. Even the kids that going to school with, they didn't listen to that, at least at that age they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think probably when I switched schools 6th grade, that was kind of when that era came into play, the 80s thing. So you talking the hair bands, the power ballads, that kind of that stuff. And I was definitely, that was a thing, like
Oh no,
Metallica,
that was
Def
big for the
Leppard.
both of us. I think. I don't know if you realize. I was into it.
I don't know, because there was like, yeah, like you said, there was that point in time where after mom and dad split, there was like, there realistically was this awkwardness of we
Big
weren't
awkwardness.
we weren't around our parents, and we weren't around each other.
Yeah.
Like, you were at
Grandparents.
Grand's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were at their house, and I stayed with our cousins for the most part. That's where I was.
Yeah.
So that there was a point in time, which was actually quite a long time, because that was
That was 7 years for me.
I was gonna say, it was years.
Yeah.
It was years, and then we really didn't. I mean, realistically, we really didn't reconnect like that until. I mean,
I don't even know. It was like just
it was probably
before
actually.
I went to go work around downstate and whatnot.
Oh yeah, yep. So when you went to. Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
Because that's
And
when
then
I moved into the house in the Sioux. And there was like
Yeah.
that 1 year, and that was like it. And then I went to work elsewhere, and then before I went back up to the Sioux, you moved to Louisiana.
Yeah, so it was quite literally like basically right before I left.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think time period.
It was
Yeah,
like 2017, 26, late 2016.
It was. I
It was
think
that
I can't
summer.
remember.
Could
I
we-
can't remember if I moved. If it was 2018 or 2019, it was somewhere around there.
You had to have moved
But yeah.
2018. That's when I was working downstate. It was that end of. Oh,
I've been
no,
at my
it was that
job.
winter. It was
No.
2019. Winter 2019, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, winter. It was the beginning of the year 2019. It was February. It was February 2019. So it was pretty much the winter prior to that.
Yeah.
Is when I'd say we kind of came back together a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And then after moving, it was more so now we play games together, and we text. I would say I talk to you more than anybody else I talk to. I talk to what Dad. I'll text Dad every couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mom. I'll kind of awkwardly, I mean, not awkwardly, but I'll text Mom every couple of weeks, or she'll like randomly ask me something. But for the most part, I don't talk to them a whole lot. And then our sister, oldest sister, I don't want to say any names yet.
Yeah.
Until I get until we get, clearance, everybody's good with us talking about them.
Right.
But
right.
so our oldest sister, I almost never talk to her aside from when somebody's birthday's coming up, and I'm like, listen, I know you live next to them and you know what they're interested in. So like, hook me up because I need to come in for the swing. So yeah, no, I definitely talk to you the most out of the family for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's about the same. I'm really bad at talking to anybody though. Ever.
Same here. That's I'm gonna say three this that sounds awful. I have 3 friends. I have
Heck
3
yeah.
I have 3 friends, and I am so and I feel really bad about it, and I'm gonna blame it on the introvert in me of I would like to reach out to them more. I would like to talk to them more, but I don't. I'll get texts from them and I won't respond for days. And then by the time I respond, I'm like, Is that rude?
Yeah.
Am I
No,
rude?
I get it. I'm the same way.
So I won't talk to them forever. Like somebody reached out to me recently, and I'm throwing this one out there. It was Adam. Yeah, Adam. Adam reached out to me. He texted me. Realistically, Adam probably texts me more than anybody else, and he tries to stay in touch, and I feel bad because I don't respond to him. So Adam, if you're listening, I love you, dude. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at texting.
Even I respond when he messages me.
Adam messages you?
Not often, but when he has, I've always responded.
Yeah, so he reached out to me recently, and he sent me a Tenacious D song.
Oh,
it's dude, it's dude. I totally miss you. So it made me feel even worse,
dude.
Yep. So, but yeah, trying to get better at that. Even I'm terrible at calling people. Don't call anybody. And the people I work with. Oh my God, this is a huge topic for me. Okay, the culture shock, because you're still up in the north.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna throw this one out there real quick. Obviously, we talked about it. I am no longer up north. I'm in the state of Louisiana. Jake is in Michigan, and that's where we're from. Michigan. He doesn't live in our hometown anymore.
No, I don't stink as bad anymore.
Exactly. But the culture difference here compared to where we grew up is it is completely different. Like people down south are very family oriented. Very, 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 very family oriented. And I'll hear like people call their family all the time. They talk to their family all the time. They'll be on the phone with their family all the time.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that is, what do you mean you don't know?
I feel like that's just kind of how our family is, because I know people that do that from up here.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know anybody that was like that.
I think it was just our bubble that we kind of lived in that was very detached from normalcy.
From reality?
Well, you think about it. We grew up out in the country for the most part up until our teenage years. So most of like regular social interaction that like kids from bigger schools had, or just the connectivity and community of the actual town, we missed out on that.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
And by the time we got there, I mean, it was kind of late for either of us to form relationships with people in town.
That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. But like, when I tell people I work with that I hate calling people. I hate being, I shouldn't say hate. I think more so it gives me anxiety because of in what world, which, let me put it this way. When I go to call somebody, like let's say I'm calling Dad, he's going to be excited. All right. Like, what's up? What's going on? What's the call for? To me, and then my brain, after he says, "Well, you know, what's going on? How you do?" Like, what's the call for? My dumb brain is like, why am I calling you? I'm just trying to reach out and be nice. That's it, and it feels weird to me.
That's just cell phones now, though. That's how everybody is. I mean,
it feels weird to me.
Everybody our age that didn't grow up with landlines or that didn't have them like a majority of their life is like that.
But I grew up with a landline.
Yeah, but we got rid of it when you were what, 13?
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. No, I was.
Our parents had it majority of their whole first quarter of life.
And I think another thing that kind of plays into that is I'm at the point where, so where we grew up was very. We were close to family the entire time.
Yeah.
Our neighbors were our cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Our cousin's neighbor was our grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Our grandma's neighbor was our other cousins. Down the street from us is our other aunt. Like,
yeah.
We lived in this little village, so it wasn't like we didn't have to call people. It was you showed up and walked in their house.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, not growing up, the younger years for me, I had to call our cousins to mom and dad made me call over there to be like, hey, is it all right if I come over? Yeah, and then it came to the point where I think our aunt was just kind of like, you don't have to call, just come over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like you showed up and walked in. And that was how it was for every single one of our friends, even.
Yeah.
When we went to their house, it didn't matter who it was. You just walked in the door. There was no knocking, waiting for somebody to come to the door. You just walked in.
Yeah, that was a wild family.
Yeah, so the culture shock thing for down here, I tell people I don't talk to my parents like at all, a couple times a year, and I don't call them. The last time I heard either of their voices is I mean, it's like a year.
Yeah.
Like it's been a year.
I mean,
at least you're close by.
Yeah.
It's the last time I was up there. The last time I was up there was it winter?
It was.
It was winter, so
it was for Christmas. 2 years ago.
No, not two. No,
1 year.
No,
1 year ago.
It was last year. Yeah.
Well,
so it's been a year.
Is that winter?
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't winter.
It wasn't the beginning of the year.
Man, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was definitely winter. Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
it was in
yeah.
that area.
I don't think I was there when you visited that time.
I don't remember. No, it wasn't winter. It was Halloween, dude.
Yeah.
Because we ended up watching Hocus Pocus 2 when it came out.
In my opinion, that movie was trash.
I can't say that for nostalgia reasons.
The color correction made me want to vomit. They had a Walgreens.
They did. Yeah, they did. But so yeah, culture shock, very, very, very different. People get very shocked when I say I just don't keep in touch with my family. They're like, how why? I'm like, because that's been that way for the past 10 years, especially after I moved out of dad's house.
Yeah.
That was
I think it was just when parents split up. I think communication kind of dropped all around for everybody.
Yeah, from everybody. Yeah, because so Riley moved out. Oh, I said, well, guess what? Shout out Riley. What's up? She moved out. Yeah. Yeah. When our older sister moved out, kind of lost communication there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of talked about how you were at our grandparents' house, I was at our cousin's house. But we really weren't at any specific spot for years.
Yeah.
We kind of bounced all over the place.
It was an interesting time for sure.
Yeah, I think it was different compared to most people. I would assume. I honestly don't know. So.
Well, yeah, majority of my life though, I think about it, it was like from the time I was 4, I was staying with dad's parents.
Yeah.
Before I was in school, and then I was at home from kindergarten to 6th grade. And then from there was every weekend I was at mom's parents.
Yeah.
And I didn't ever hang out with friends other than one from middle school. Ever. So my social interaction gauge is none.
in the dumpster.
Yeah. Straight up. And I think that's why I worked so well with your friend.
Your boy. I knew who you're talking about. Yeah. I can attest to that. It's valid. You two y'all are probably more in touch than him and I are.
Oh yeah, I think
if I had to guess. Like I talk to him every
so.
couple of months. We'll talk.
Same.
Not on the phone. It's never on the phone.
Never.
It's always text.
Yeah.
It's always text.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
He told me he was gonna be around just a couple weeks ago, and then I never heard from him.
He said he was gonna be here, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm not." I was like, "Got it." Okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. And that was like another thing for people is birthdays. Birthdays?
Never had a birthday party.
I don't call anybody, man. I'm not call.
No.
Even our parents. Mom and dad call you?
No.
No. They'll just text me. Happy birthday. All right. That's it.
I only call Gran.
Is that you call Gran?
Every year. If I remember correctly, I try to. Or I'll be up there and I'll visit.
He says I try to. Yeah, and then we show up once a year.
In my recollection, I do call.
He's like, I'm pretty sure I call.
The more I think about it, the less confident I am. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's kind of going down fast.
That's like trying to remember if you turned off the stove or not.
It's fine. Who cares about the stove? It's all right, you know?
Yeah. Who needs a house?
Yeah. But that was just that whole conversation right there was a very long-winded conversation about like kind of who we are, where we came from. We both come from a middle of nowhere. It is
Little house on the prairie.
Dude.
We live in I explained this to somebody at work. We grew up in Little House on the Prairie until I was like 8 years old, and our cousins 100%. Got the internet.
Yeah, to this day, our dad, I mean, he just sold the house over this past year.
Yeah.
But to this day, he could not get internet at this house.
Dial-up.
He couldn't get internet. We could get dial-up. In the year of 2022, he could get dial-up. Where are we? What are we doing? So, yeah, I've tried explaining that to people too. So, yeah, we're from a it's not, I don't want to say very small town. It definitely was smaller than most people's towns. The town of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. It's right on the border of Canada. Influence our accents very much so. I said something the other day. I can't remember what it was, but it was probably something along the lines of me saying car, and like it came out very car. I didn't I've noticed there's a lot of words, and I've been poked fun of, that I say goofy because I might not talk right. Or it might be the accent.
I don't know. I've been told that I don't have an accent because I've heard...
You also... What? You've heard what?
I've heard actual heavy accents, and I don't have
There's people up north that...
I've had people from down here tell me I don't have a UP accent.
You probably can get away with it.
Yeah.
Because I for the longest time said like pillow. Pillow. Said
I
pillow.
Still say bagel.
All right, so I say bagel. Bagel. No, I don't say bay.
And that's the thing.
Bagel.
It's like I could correct myself, but that's just how I say it naturally.
It takes too much time.
Yeah. Why am I going to think about the thing I'm going to eat and try and say it correctly?
Yeah, so like the word, this one is hilarious to me. The word crayon.
Crayon.
It's crayon. Sorry. It's crayon. In my world, it will forever be crayon. That is stuck in my vocabulary for the rest of my existence.
Yeah.
Crayon. There is there's
man.
what is that? One syllable? Crayon. Or it's not crayon.
We can go
Crayon.
on and on about words for years, dude.
Well, the accent up north is this odd mix of like the Canadian accent, which is a little French, and the rednecks of the UP.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a legitimate weird, almost southern accent-ish.
But it's like got a swoop to it.
It's got a swoop to it. That's a good way to put it.
It's southern swoop.
Yeah. We come from a very small area, I'm going to say we had a very sheltered beginning. Very. So there was like restaurant wise, there was the major fast food chains, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, stuff like that. But
Walmart.
There was Walmart. We had a Walmart.
Still have a Walmart.
As kids, basically your options for entertainment were
go outside.
It was definitely go outside. But it was like a big hunting area, a big fishing area, four-wheelers, snowmobiles, obviously. That was a big thing. We really didn't partake in that. Like, we drove around on the four-wheeler and stuff.
Yeah, and that was fun.
Have you ever been on a snowmobile?
No, I have no desire either. I hate the snow. Right. I hate winter. I hate everything about it. I hate being cold.
Yeah. So that's another thing. To those who don't know, the people down here have tried, when I tell them where I'm from, and like they're like, it gets cold up there.
They'll never understand.
I have seen times like 100% the thermometer in my car said it was negative 31. And I remember getting into the house.
Yes.
And with the wind chill, it was in the negative 50s. Negative 50 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
You just don't go outside.
You can't live outside for more than 20 minutes in the winter. No,
well, people have died.
People have straight up died.
Yeah. If you if you were by yourself, and let's say you were walking to the store, and you took an alley and you slipped, knocked yourself out, call it a day, it's over.
Yeah, that
it's over.
Happened to a number of people.
Yeah, it's awful. Winter is awful there.
Yeah. It's
and I've tried explaining to people, because they'll like be like, oh yeah, it might be cold, but the cold up there is different than it is down here. And I then have to explain, no. We lived on a lake.
Imagine
so the humidity levels
from Star
the humidity.
Wars.
Yeah. He said Hoth. Yeah, the humidity levels are super high during winter. It's still super humid, so that we have what would you say there's 2 types of snow? There's 2 types of snow.
Dude, there's like 6.
Well, I'm saying what I consider, you have like the
Styrofoam
what we would
and
call
wet.
We would call packy snow. At least Riley and I did. We called it packy snow, which is the stuff you could make a snowman out of. And then there were some times where the snow would be light and fluffy, and you could not pack this stuff together at all. You'd try to mush it together, and it's
dust.
powder, dust. But the snow would stick to you. There were times that it would stick to you.
Yeah.
It's awful. there was only
hate
one
winter
time.
so much.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate even thinking about it. I'm thinking
yeah.
about,
So to anybody listening, if you thoroughly enjoy the cold, go to northern Michigan. You'll love it. You will love. I've met people from Alaska that said we have very similar weather from Alaska.
That's not what I like to hear.
Not at all. That's not what you want.
That is not what I want to hear. That's not what I want to hear at all.
Yeah. So that's it. It was, and then the seasonal seasonal affective disorder. So
yeah,
we have winter. We've had snow start as early as beginning of October, middle of October. We've had it start snowing then.
And it's almost every year it snows on Halloween.
Oh yeah, yeah. It almost always. Year.
Or Halloween,
and
however you want to say it.
Halloween. And there is a very prominent memory I have that it was specifically May 15th. May 15th. That was when I was working at the campground. May 15th. There was a complete whiteout blizzard. You couldn't see Canada. Canada was no longer seeable from the shore.
And
May
it was
15th.
like you could see it clear as day. You could see the buildings right in front of you. It's not like it was far. No, you could wave at somebody across the water for people who might need an image.
Yeah, if you need an image, you legitimately could see somebody waving at you, like from Canada. And you could no longer see Canada. It was just gone. Then May 15th. So you're talking October to May. 6 to 8 months out of the year up there is snow.
Pain.
6 to 8 months.
It's pain.
And yeah, due to that, people get this thing called seasonal affective disorder. It's when you don't get enough vitamin D from the vitamin D, right? From the sun.
Yeah, something like that.
It's either vitamin D or vitamin E. One of the two. I can't remember. It's a vitamin from the sun. Don't judge me. And people get depressed. It's get depressed.
A plant without sunlight. We just start to sag real low to the ground. Everybody looks like they broke their back.
Yeah. People just don't go outside. I mean, that's not true. People, there is the right type of people to live up there for sure. I am not one of them.
If you like drinking.
If you like drinking.
That's the place for you. It's like one big college.
Yeah. As an adult, your options are work.
Not many options.
Become what we, already were. Be gamers, play video games, or there's like 30 bars in this small community.
Yeah. There are a lot of bars. It's very sad.
Like there was a lot of outdoors activities. I will say that, but aside from that, there wasn't really any extra activities as kids. We had a bowling alley. We had
for a number of years.
Yeah, which was closed for a number of years. We had a movie theater. Which closed. And the movie theater probably closed when I was like 14, 15.
It closed right after the last Hobbit movie, I do believe.
That sounds about right, because I do remember seeing all of those in that theater.
And then it closed, I think, that winter, and they tore it down for Meijer. Shout out Starbucks. But Meijer, what you doing?
He says shout out Starbucks.
You can't watch movies at Meijer.
Yeah, you can't watch movies at Meijer. So yeah, we didn't even have a movie theater. So your options if you wanted to go see a movie was if you had an enhanced license and you went to Canada. There was a movie theater about 10, 15 minutes away. Yeah. You could go to the movie theater at the mall over in Canada. Or the other option was drive an hour away to the movie theater in Mackinac.
Yeah.
And I had never been in that theater I've never been in that theater. So I don't even know. I've still never been in
that theater, and I'll never go to that theater because that is not my movie theater.
Yeah. So
that's not my president. But that's not my theater.
That's not my theater. Yeah. So that's very long-winded description of where we come from, who we are.
Long wins.
That's very, very long wins. But yeah, we're two brothers, obviously.
All right, so we're gonna start this all over right now. Let's get it going. We are two brothers.
We're two brothers. What is that from?
Michigan.
No, not again. No, yeah. So two brothers, middle of nowhere, Michigan, and we somehow ended up here.
Yeah,
deciding to make a podcast.
And it's a good time. And it's a good time.
If you say, yeah. That was very. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. That was, I'd say, a good, not review. What's the word I'm looking for? Overview. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I didn't know what you were thinking about, honestly.
Yeah, a good overview of who we are, what the game plan is for the podcast.
And it's only up from here, and we're gonna get sound effects, and we're gonna make it real fun.
That was awful.
No, it's the truth.
Fun.
I promise.
No, we do have plans. We have a lot of ideas.
If you don't like it, get out of here.
All right, if you don't like it, get out of here. That's terrible. But yeah, game plan is we've kind of laid the land. You have at least a backstory of who we are. Now we can, it can only go up from here. It can't get worse, right?
I mean, if one of us died, maybe it would get worse.
That is awful.
Come on here, episode 5, just...
Funeral.
Hey
it's just
guys.
a funeral.
It's just me today and forever now.
And forever. So, yeah. Would that change it to 1 degree separation? Because
I think it's
just you. Separation.
Yeah. Separated.
Separated. That is, we're changing the name of the podcast completely. It is just going to be Separated.
Or
that's
all about me. Starring me. Talking to me. And I'll film it and I'll have the angle of, it'll be a shot with the back of my head and the camera will be facing a mirror and you'll see my reflection and it'll be me talking to me. All about me.
That sounds horrifying. Have a conversation with yourself. Yeah. In a mirror. Have a conversation with yourself in a mirror.
Yeah, you'll find that someday online.
You heard it here, folks. Jake is starting his own podcast where he talks to himself in a mirror.
All about me.
So would it be like do you do camera cuts so it's from the different perspectives?
Yeah,
different.
Yeah. I'll buy a second mirror frame and I'll take the glass out of the center and I'll put the portrait for the frame a little further in front of the camera lens so it looks like it's boxed in the frame, and then I'll have it facing me outside of it. I'm telling you, we're getting deep with it. It's going to be nice.
Schizophrenia.
It's going to be just my daily life, exactly how it is, essentially.
That's perfect. I think that would work. I think that's a hit.
That's it. Totally.
I think it'll work.
It's just distorted Mozart playing in the background.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What? I had to think about that for a second. Distorted Mozart, but it's got to be like reversed. Like,
oh yeah.
So it's got to be
just have screams in the background every once in a while.
Absolutely.
It's like one of those. It's just a haunted mansion, essentially. Walking through a haunted mansion, like before you go into one, they have the music playing outside, and it's just. What was the place downtown in the Sioux?
The Haunted Depot.
The Haunted Depot. They did it. You just be chilling, and then it just be screams.
Oh yeah, from outside. Yeah. Well, that's because it was like a, I don't even know what you consider it. We always just called it the Haunted Depot. It's like a haunted house, I guess, but it was like an actual business. during the summer that was open.
I didn't know you could like go on it. Can you like go through it?
No, not anymore. They closed that. Man, they closed that. I was young when they closed the Haunted Depot.
Man,
Yeah.
I always miss out on the good stuff.
It was garbage.
At least now I've got a smartphone and a computer. Something
To do what?
You couldn't have.
You can't find what?
When you were a kid.
Oh yeah, fair point. Yeah, no, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was oh man. I was over the age of 13. I didn't have my first phone.
Yeah, I was in
and smartphones weren't a thing, you know. They didn't exist. My first phone was an LG Shine. That was the first phone I had. Was an LG Shine, and that thing was banging. I had a black LG Shine. I can't remember what happened to it. I dropped it in a toilet multitude of times.
No.
Oh yeah, 100% dropped it.
Was that the little cube, like the little cube that slid up and it had the keyboard?
Yep.
Dude, that thing was indestructible.
Indestructible. I had thrown that thing, but I did end up breaking it at some point. I can't remember how I broke that one. And then I got a second LG Shine. It was Riley's old one.
Was it red? Was it the red one?
It was orange.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yup. And that one, I stepped on it.
Oh.
Yeah, I stepped on it. I clearly remember that. I was actually at our cousin's house, far away. For one of their far away. There's only one cousin of ours that was relatively close, that was relatively far away.
I think,
and there was a fair few of them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. I was there for one of their graduation parties.
Oh,
we were doing something.
This.
I was barefoot and I put my phone in my shoe because I think the shorts that I had on didn't have pockets. So I put my phone in my shoe and I didn't even think about it. Just I went to go slip my foot in the shoe and just took a step at the same time. Done. Toast. It was over. Rest in peace, the LG.
Feel that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Wild. Crazy. That is a very odd thought. Like, yeah, time period. At least I had cell phones, you know, not much longer prior to my childhood. There was you had a track phone that like, you might as well have had what the heck are those things called? I can't remember.
What?
A beeper.
A beeper, a pager? You talking about a pager?
They're the same thing. So, my boss was actually telling me about how back in the day, him and his wife had pagers, and they had he was telling us all about we're so young.
No. When I worked at the hospital,
you had a pager?
No, but I talked to a lot of people who did. A lot.
I was ready for you to be like, yeah, I had a pager.
CNAs
I was like, get out of here.
Their pagers. I've used the pagers. We used to use them all the time. Just where it
makes sense.
Worked.
It makes sense to have a pager in that industry. It really does, because if it's hitting the fan, you know.
Oh, you don't have
to whip your phone out.
Talking about mine. No, mine is. I didn't need a pager for anything I did. We would just hassle them with the pagers. We'd take somebody's up there and just hassle everybody else that had one.
Yes, indeed. But I mean, it makes sense in that industry, like I was saying, because
it's crucial.
If it's hitting the fan, you don't have time to whip out your phone, text somebody, call somebody. Instead, you just clickety clack, clack, click. I don't know how the pager works, by the way. No idea. No idea.
Yeah.
You hit them with an SOS, and then they're like, all right, you know, it's popping off. Get her done. Yeah, it makes sense in that industry.
Good.
So, I think, yeah, it's time. Wrap it up.
Oh, man.
We got the...
That sounded so sincere.
Wrap it up, dude.
Man. Shucks.
But yeah, the intentions of this first episode were to just kind of give us. Oh yeah, man. Give
I need to know who I am most days.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring
Give you
it
guys an overview of who we are. What's the game plan for the podcast? I really didn't talk about where we're going from here, but we have ideas. We have a game plan.
Next week.
Oh yeah, probably should state this. Wrapping it up right now. Every Monday from here on out, you're gonna hear two awkward brothers kind of fidget their way.
We're gonna talk about top 5 Skyrim mods of the week.
Top 5 Skyrim mods of the week.
I'm fighting for it.
It'll end up being it'll be like the 50th episode as a meme, you know?
I'm hoping for 25th episode.
It's a 25th.
Or we can do it on whatever episode that correlates to the amount of releases Skyrim has had. So we can do like episode 12 or something like that.
No.
And I can just do that many mods. One mod that works on every version of Skyrim. Yes.
Every version. Yo. Yes, indeed. But yeah, so prepare yourselves for a lot of nerdy talk. A lot of it's going to be a lot of nerdy conversation. A lot of music stuff for sure, because between the both of us, I mean, Jake, you've been working on music. You have music on like SoundCloud. You even got stuff on Spotify.
Yeah.
I've been working on music for years, and I don't think I've like really put anything out there at all.
You gotta get on it, man.
Gotta get on it. Been working on music for years. So both of us really, really big into music. We both have our own tastes in music, but we also have a lot of similarities in music and a lot of conversations about movies, TV shows, stuff like that, because I'd say between the both of us, we're like super big Lord of the Rings fans, you know?
Oh, heck yeah. I just finished watching Return of the King the other day.
I say we're big Lord of the Rings fans, but I think neither of us have read the books.
I'm the biggest. I have the books. I literally just said the other day I was going to reread them.
I have not read the books. I've actually started. Oh, no, I read The Hobbit. Does that count?
Have you seen the cover of the books that I have? I'm pretty sure I sent it. Oh.
I don't think so.
It's Sauron's eye, and they're 3 different colors. They're just a black bound book with Sauron's eye.
I did. Yes, I do remember that.
Those are Dad's books, but I've got them, so I guess they're mine until they're back in his hands.
So they're yours.
Yeah. Snooze you lose.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have to talk about, and even the conversations we had leading up, planning this podcast out, like leading up to today. We would sit in a call we would be writing ideas, obviously coming up with the name, the logo stuff, all the culmination that brought us here. And we would be sitting in a voice call, and we would be talking about stuff, and we would have to like stop ourselves.
Yeah.
We can talk about this another time.
Yeah, but then when we press record, it's like, oh man. I don't want to talk.
Instant nerves. I'm telling you. But I mean, at this point now, I think I'm pretty much fine with it. And
you've been talking a lot more than I have for sure, though.
You'll fly by the seat of your pants. You'll be all right.
I'll get comfortable with it eventually.
Because like this, I think it brings me back to the streaming situation for me. I was definitely awkward in the very beginning, but then once you get past the point of like, who cares?
It's not even that. I just don't know when to like input on some things, and I'm like, I don't want it to be silent. Point. I'm like, I don't want it to be silent. I don't want to cut you off.
What do you mean?
We're figuring it out. We're figuring
it out. We're getting there. So I would say that was that's yeah.
Yeah, man, that was great times. Shout out.
Yeah,
shout out podcasts. Yeah. Shout out podcasts. Shout out podcasts.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, so every Monday from here on out, all platforms, by the way, every single platform podcasts are available on. And We have a Twitter. It's this is going to be real confusing for a lot of people. It's the number 2 DOF separation. And it's across all media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
We got it everywhere. We're everywhere.
We also are going to be posting everything to YouTube as well, to anybody that if it's easier for you to just pop on a YouTube video, everything's going to be up on YouTube as well. It's 2D everywhere. Of separation. We're everywhere, baby. Yeah, so I think that about wraps things up for this week.
Yes,
and we will see you all next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.